Everybody can see me? Or can hear me as well?
Yes.
Is this somehow look better? Didn't hear me?
Yes, Vanita.
Okay. Okay, well, let's start the class today. Start with the prayer. Seek a blessing from your Guru God Goddesses. Usually what and slowly up your eyes. Okay. We'll quickly finish with as usual, the agenda is the same. We're going with the Gocharam, followed by our horoscope lessons, ending with the horoscope discussion. Okay, the same pattern. Let's see about the today's Gocharam. Now, this week is a Kumbha month. Kumbha month. What is the meaning of that? Wherever the sun was, that the people will call the name of the Rasi followed by the month name. They considered the name of the month by the Rasi. If the sun was here, then it is a Magara month. Now, the sun was in the Kumbha Rasi, so it is a Kumbha month. So, our first king and queen, the queen is the Chandra. Chandra is in the Kadaka Rasi. It is in his own house. King is in the Kumbha Rasi, sun. Guru in the Mithuna, Ketu in the Simha, and Surya, Shukra, Mars, Rahu, Budan, all are in the Kumbha Rasi. Sani in the Meena Rasi. Okay. We already know about this, the yearly planets which we have to concentrate. Guru in the Mithuna, Shani in the Meena Rasi, and the Ketu in the Simha, Rahu in the Kumbha. So the first thing we have to concentrate on the where the sun and the Chandra was. Here among the sun and the Chandra, give importance to the Chandra where the moon was in the Rasi chart. If the Chandra was in your Ashtamatipati, the Ashtamatipati Rashi, or in the 8th house, or in the 6th house, or in your first house, or it becomes your Rasi house, then you have to concentrate how your mood fluctuates. So imagine now if somebody was having the Kadaka Lagna or Kadaka Rasi, or the Kadaka Rasi becomes the 8th house of the native, then they have to concentrate how their emotional fluctuations should be. Probably this, if the 8th house is the Kadaka Rasi, that person have to concentrate on how the thought process. Try not to make any rash decision today. If there is a possibility to wait for one more day, till wait for when the Chandra moves to the next tranche. Okay. Now let's move into the Panjam. Tidi is the Trayodashi, followed by the Shatupdashi. Nakshatra is the Pushya Nakshatra and Ashlesha. And Yoga is the Shobhana, Adhiganda, Karana is the Gaulava, Taitala and Garaja. Weekday is Ravivara, Paksha is the Shukti Paksha. And the coming week is the most important week because we didn't learn about the nakshatra now, but the coming week there was the one day. It comes with this auspicious nakshatra that is specifically for the Pitrush. So nakshatra is the Maha Nakshatra. That too coming on the Tuesday, they celebrate it as the Masimelu. In Tamil, the name of the month in the Tamil is Masi. And the nakshatra coming on that day, they celebrate it as the Masimelu. To whom we have to give importance to this particular day? Mainly for the Pitrus. Okay, now let's see about the Tithi. Tithi starts from the, in Vedic astrology entirely, the people consider as a sunrise to next day sunrise only. They consider that 24 hours, not the normal 12 to 12. Okay, this is the one day. So, Trayodasi till 7:09 p.m. To the mid here. At still we are in a Trayodasi, then followed by the entirely towards the Chaturdasi. And the nakshatra starting with the Pushya nakshatra. And importantly, when the nakshatra end, we'll discuss that later. Pusha Nakshatra 8:34. It was ended here in the morning itself. Now we are in Aslesha. Yoga is the Shobhana. That too till in the it's already finished. 2:33 p.m. Then followed by the Adhiganda. Karana is the Taitala. We are going to see the Taitala today. So till what time? The Taitala will follow till 7:54 a.m. Is it finished? Oh no, Gaulava is finished. Gaulava and followed by the Taitala, then followed by the Garaja. It is the Ravivar. Okay, now what? Now we are going to see about the Taitala Karana. The peoples will call it as a Taitalai, Taitulai, whichever way you prefer to call it as this particular Karana. In Tamil, mostly the people call it as a Taitulai. It's become habit for me to mention it as a Taitulai. You can, if any of the books mentioning it as a Taitulai, both are same book. And this is the among all the 11 Karanas, and this is the one most auspicious Karana. If you want in this particular day, you want to do anything auspicious, start on the Taitulai Karana. Nothing goes bad against you. The Charakarana, planet is a Shukra, and naturally it was very auspicious. Among the Karanas, this is the most auspicious. If you want to do anything, start on this Karana. You can blindly go towards this Taitali Karana. Animal is the donkey, day is the Wednesday. Adidevata is the Aditya, Devata is the Pitru. The people who born on this Taitali Karana, if they have the picture when you may see that horse was moving the chariot, and they have the picture like that in most of the houses. The people who born on this Daitale Karana, if they have this kind of the picture, it somewhat benefits them. The Daitale is a kind of an if you when the how we can know the Daitale Karana is going to benefit you. If you see anything here or see anything in iron based, or if you see any people who are saying about I bought this iron vessel or something, somewhat one or the other day you heard the word iron, or you somebody was talking about the diamond and the or strongness, or something they said about, or whenever you step out of the home, they're selling the jasmine flower. And this kind of the thing will tell you this karma is going to give you a greater benefit, whatever the actions you are going to take. Okay. But this is the point most of the people will fall into the trap of the superstitiousness mostly, because when you are going to seek the guidance from the universe, you have to be very much aware and very much aware about yourself and surroundings. It's a kind of one simple line between jumping into the superstitious and standing in your whatever you are learning, whatever your thought process. So when you are seeking the guidance of the cosmos, I mean around the things around you, you have to be aware. And most of the time, if you are seeking the guidance from the things which is around you, around the universe, you have to be very much balanced. Maintain your diet, do the pranayama, do the yoga, do the mantra. Without that, you should not seek the guidance from the cosmos. Because if you are not balanced, whatever you are seeking the guidance from the universe, it won't be in a correct way. And if you're in the, it doesn't mean the universe not going to the correct way. No, they will be, whether you are a good or a bad person, it will give you the correct guidance only. But the understanding ability of the person differs. Okay. Now let's come back to the Taitalekan. Activity suited for everything is good. I'm just listing out whatever the things which we can mainly do for under Taitalekarana. But anything good, any good things you want to start. This is your first day you are going to give food to your kid, custody, first education. Whatever things if you want to do, you felt it was an auspicious thing. This karna is the best one. The people's normally born on this karna, they are kind of a fortunate people. One or the other way, they are wealthy in the wealth comes towards them. and more affectionate and influential. This influential here is these people when they are trying to talk with anybody, they get influenced or they somewhat they get inspired. Okay? Then you may ask, when I born on the title, I didn't have this influential activity. And that differs. See, the Karana activity will be definitely it's imbibed in you only, in your aura only. But something is blocking you that once you are remove that, it will be explicitly shown to the world. Okay, that's you have to work on that scenario if this was not happening. Okay, now let's getting into the our lesson. Saptama Adhipati, that is the seventh lord. We already know about what is the seventh house will do. Seventh house is for your partner, customer, client, boss. In a simple word, how you can remember. Because the Lagna is a you, but if exactly opposite Rahu is nothing but anything in standing in front of you, whatever you are facing in your life, whether it is a question, answer, doubt, issues, obstacles, whichever you are facing, that becomes your seventh. Okay. Now, how simply I want to remember just two things. Remember spouse, client, customer, more than enough. Okay. We already saw about the seventh house in first lord. Altogether, it is a very good in the seventh Kendra, one of the Kendra lord in your Lagna means your public relation is good and your innate personality also exhibit in every way. In seventh lord in the second house, again the Dhanas, in the Kendra, one of the Kendra lord was sitting in the Dhanasthana. You somewhat, not somewhat, you are really intellectual in nature, and you have this kind of managing the financial thing very beautifully. Seventh lord in the third house, again the one of the Kendra lord was in your Dairyasthana. It gives additional luck in your life. And Kendra Lord is in the fourth house. Again, that was a good support and family love. You are a home, you can say, imagine as a good person, or you are very much maintain harmony with your family. And Kendra Lord in fifth house, definitely you are respect, everybody will give respect in your life. In seventh Lord in the sixth house, very warm and caring person. Seventh Lord in the seventh house. So very good. And again, because the Kendra Lord sitting in his own house, that is one of the Kendra, your spouse becomes very supportive and they're very common nature and they will help you in every way. And seventh Lord in the eighth house. Possibly this is, you will get the financial luck after your marriage. Seventh Lord in the ninth house. Mostly these people will follow the unconditional method. Seventh Lord in the 10th house. Definitely you will have the partner as a friend, partner as a philosopher, partner as a guide. Altogether, you will get a very good partner. Okay, now we're getting into our lesson. Seventh Lord in the 11th house. Seventh Lord, we already know anything in front of you, and whatever the things which you are facing in your life. Now, the 11th house is a fulfillment of your desires. Profits, gains, or cash flow, wealth, whatever the cash flow in your life. So that is your 11th house. Now the Kendra Lord who's sitting in the 11th house, how it will be. So how you can success in the fulfillment of desires through your life partner, because the fulfillment of desires, the Kendra Lord was sitting. The Kendra Lord, the 7th house Lord was sitting in 11th house means for desire will be fulfilled by what are the things by through you can achieve this success by the life partner, business partner, any contracts you come across, commission through and mergers and acquisition. Okay, this is the one beautiful thing you can say. In the corporate world, you may see a number of the merger and acquisition, but number of the mergers will leads into a failure stage. But when these peoples are handling, the 7th Lord and 11th house peoples are handling, they handle the merger and acquisitions very well. The M&A is an easiest task. We will have to face emotional turbulence in the process itself. But these people have that kind of an ability. What does that mean? Why? Because the peoples who are in who they are going to face in their life, they are sitting in the 11th house. The 11th house is again a fulfillment of your desires. They will they will make through this entire process very easy. And how the success will come into their life through their life partner or the business partner, whoever it is. So altogether, seventh lord in the 11th house is the good thing in your life. Anybody having seventh lord in the 11th house?
What if it is in combination with Rahu?
Oh, okay. Here is the thing. Any graha combined with Rahu, it won't give you any auspiciousness. The graha which is in any of the house, it will do its part. That is the basic. See, if the seventh lord, whoever it is, now sitting in the 11th house along with the Rahu means the combined effect will be done. See, imagine a situation now, Moon plus Rahu was sitting in your 11th house. You think in a way such, okay, now imagine a situation. Now, normally now imagine
The
11th house.
combination here is Saturn and Rahu.
Okay, Saturn and Rahu. Okay, this is a very, you know the Lagna?
Lagna is Kataka.
Wait a second. Okay. Second. Right. That Lagna,
And Shani Rahu in
which
the
is a
11th.
seventh lord, Saturn. Saturn is a seventh lord, sitting in the Rishabha, right?
Yeah, along with Rahu.
Along with Rahu. Yeah, awesome. Okay, now take a guess. Okay, first we'll see about two things separately. What the Saturn is for?
Hard work and delay.
Full, I didn't understand what is it?
Hard work,
Okay, Saturn is on a hard work, then
delay. I mean, you get everything
delay.
slowly.
Okay, delay slowly, then they love to work or not? If the
Yes, they love
Saturn
to
is
work.
love to work, like interested towards the hard work, and
Yes.
the other end, one end was hard work, and another end was lazy. Now let's see about the Rahu. Rahu, how you can define the Rahu? Rahu will going to give you the material benefit?
No.
Obviously, yes. Is that going to give you the health benefit? No.
No.
Is that going to give you the relationship benefit?
No.
No. Okay. Now here is the thing. Do you get the monetary benefit from your life partner, business partner? Yes. Is that going to be a good relationship? No. You understand this difference, right?
Okay.
You will get any contracts, you will definitely, the money will flow through, regardless of, because it's a contract was established woman. But here is the thing: when the Saturn was sitting and the in the 11th house, the money which you come into, you come and reaching you, it will get at least a few months delay. The commission definitely you will get because Rahu was also sitting, it will definitely give you the financial benefit. But what the Saturn will do, if the money was flow through, it was somewhere it was stuck, it won't do anything. But if it was flow through, it will delay in one or the other way. Okay, now the merger and acquisition. These people will really ruthless and they will do this M&A for sure. But what that will do, they are not able to maintain the relationship. They will come into the health about these individuals later, but they really can't able to maintain this emotional thing into the picture. They all the time they will think into the materialistic way, and if they achieve this M&A easily, yes, they definitely can able to achieve this merger and acquisition easily. I suppose. Yeah. Is that easily understandable, or it is too tough?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, one important thing. Whenever the Rahu was combined here, there is a higher possibility they will step into an unconventional path. So this is the two different combinations. Saturn was always interested towards the hard work, but Rahu was interested towards the unconventional path. Whichever way I want to make that thing, I want to make the money, I want to make the material success. But Saturn believes in the hard work. Even if I earn 1 rupee, it should be come from my hard work. Raghu will tell you, okay, I will earn 1,000 crores. I there is no conventional method I'm going to use. I use whatever the things whichever way, whichever path I use, and I reach the destination. Is that possible for these people? Yes, because the Rahu's energy is like that. It always choose the unconventional path. Nobody will think in that way. See, the Saturn and Rahu combination, the nervous system was totally different. The people's was one. Imagine a situation. Now you will have only the Rahu here. How it will be? Now this imagine the same lagna, Karka lagna. Now the Saturn, the seventh lord Saturn was sitting in the 11th house. How it will become? Or try a guess. Now the Rahu was not here.
All will be achieved along with preserving the relationship.
Definitely, because the fulfillment of desires will be definitely happen, but there is a possibility the one thing they may achieve for the time will be prolonged, or sometimes they felt that they didn't even they because of their hard work they didn't even enjoy that kind of a success because they know this is my hard work I come across this kind of. But fortunately, these people will help them. The life partner, business partner will help them. Anybody want to add here? Okay, now let's see about the seventh lord in the 12th. 12th house is for your moksha, liberation, detachment, and importantly, two things you have to remember in the 12th house. What is that? That is for the one is the liberation, and again, and the next important thing is your expenditure. In the displacement and imprisonment, there was a long list will go for the 12th house, but and importantly, the sleep. Three main things. How your sleeping will be. What kind of the liberation thoughts emerge in you, and what expenses you are going to do in your life. Okay, now that in that house, the seventh lord was sitting. So, in other words, the Kendra lord was sitting in the hidden house, one of the hidden houses. Is that going in Kendra Lord in the Dostana? Is that going to give you the benefit? What do you say? Okay, let's see. Now, the seventh Lord in the 12th house means they 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 are in the different world altogether. They live their imagination was entirely different. Whatever their thought process, their living style, how they want to live, they dwell in another world altogether. Even if you are living in a 10 number of the peoples in a home, they have their own style of living. And about their hard work, yes, they're definitely dedicated and hard work. And how they are going to spend the money? Okay, here is interesting thing. They will spend the money in their mind, energy, money effectively. Most importantly, they contribute to the community. Is that kind of a good or bad? Obviously, this is really good. When what are the other things you have to consider when the seventh lord was in the 12th house? The graha which is placed, if there was no graha, you don't need to worry about because you was going, it won't be going to disturb. But if there was any graha present in it, then you have to check if that graha was have the strength in your birth chart. If it didn't have the strength and it also retrograde and your dasha buddhi also happening, then your sleeping will also get disturbed. We have to give much more importance to your sleeping habits. Okay. Anybody was having seventh lord in the 12th house? Okay, there are the few things Keniger was giving as an I didn't know about this name. It was name about it. This all in the astrogroup itself, based on the seventh lord placement. If you know about these people, you can easily understand what kind of the cross significance you may come across. It's all for your practice because I don't know anybody in this list, so I couldn't command anything on that. Okay, well, we'll see about the horoscope discussion again. Before that, then we will discuss the Ashtamadipati now. Okay, let me stop sharing this and I will show you the another. Okay, let's see about the Ashtamadipati. Now we will finish the seventh lord in a different bhavas. Now we'll coming into the eighth lord. Ashtamadipati means eighth house lord. Now, what the eighth house will going to do for you? What are the significance? Let's deep dive into in a few minutes. Okay. It's an Ayush system. That means your longevity was defined here. How long you are going to live, and is there in your nervous system the searching for who this inbuilt in it, or you are born with like that. See, you may see the peoples. There are the peoples who search for the truth at the age of the 11, at the age of the 8, at the age of the 14. They are really blessed ones. They took the sannyasa path at the very early stage itself, and they moved towards their life for searching the truth itself. Now, this words was maybe simply you can translate, but every person was having a different objective altogether. So the search for the truth is we can see in a different perspective. So one, they want to one of the people's they may be search for the truth in who I am or why I'm on to this planet, why I'm living in this kind of the dimension. There are a number of the things in come to an individual, they seek the answer for their own questions. Or somebody, there was some activities which is happening in their life, they trying to find the truth. So altogether with the search for the truth. When Ashtamadipati is also signified by that research, that any research in the world, it may be in your literature, it may be in your science lab, physics lab, whatever it is, in nothing you will deep dive. Even you are digging a soil and find out something and you are doing the research on that. That is also comes under the eighth house. Foreign settlement. Or you have an ability to settle in a foreign or no, that is also signified by the eighth house. Idealism, it depends on one person to another person. So you find your answer on your own way. The transformation is a little bit different from one one thing to another thing. For example, in your teenage, you could be a you may be very timid in nature, or you don't have an single amount of the braveness in your blood, and suddenly you become very much strong, very much brave, and you become very uh, show strongness in everything. Another person, another situation for a person. One person was very bulky in teenage, and suddenly entering into 20 to 30 years of him, between the 20 to 30 years, he becomes a very strong muscle built body. And another person was having the very sweet voice in the teenage, and suddenly it becomes a very coarse in nature. The voice was really manly. This is the kind of the physical changes or mental changes, anything. The transformation could be anything in your life. Suddenly you are getting into a corporate life and you are entirely immersed into it, and you have a till the last day of your life plan you already have in your paper. but suddenly you left everything and getting into another area, another phase of your life, or you have your different plan, or something comes in your way. So altogether, in your life, how what the transformation you are going to face. That is the transformation that is defined in your eighth house itself. Okay, sudden events. This could be in the mostly this is very sudden events means really not expect. You may lose your job. The accident you will face. You may get a sudden injury. You didn't even expect that. You just slipped out of the anything that is could be a book, could be a stone, but uh, uh, your injury was really dangerous, like that. You may have just slipped, but your ligament got injured. So just like that, the sudden events may happen. Okay, now I'm telling about all the bad events. Now the sudden events can be a good news for you. You may have an opportunity to settle in a foreign. You may have the suddenly get a luck in your life. That is also happen. Any sudden events, whatever it is, whether it is good or bad or just a neutral, that doesn't matter. Any sudden events that is signified by the eighth house. Okay. The inheritance is also eighth house, but importantly here mostly it's defined the hidden wealth. So you also didn't have an idea about whether you have the wealth or not. But the hidden wealth is defined in the eighth house itself. All kinds of secret mysteries and okay, here is an important. There is a n number of mysteries, n number of secrets in this world, in this dimension itself. But how many persons are interested to search towards that, or interested to spend their life on it? Right? I mean, there are the only few people you can handpick. So that kind of an energy, how they will get. That is that the eighth house will give their energy to move forward in their life, towards the searching of the mystery, searching of the history. So if any person want to learn an occult science, the eighth house have to say. Otherwise, they are not even enter into an occult science. If anybody was learning the Sri Vidya, or anybody was learning any of the occult science in which is the hidden knowledge altogether, or I holistically say it is a hidden knowledge. Anybody was enter into the world of the hidden knowledge, then definitely you have the strong eighth house. Otherwise, there is no way, there is no energy. It will attract you or it will drag you into that kind of a mystery world. So hidden desires. Any individual, whatever the hidden desires they have, that is also defined in the eighth house. Okay. So that is most of the time when the people are really scared about the eighth house. They really pray for there should not be Graha in the seventh house. There should not be Graha in the eighth house. Then all good. No, the Graha present or not present is doesn't a problem. Whatever the karma you did in your lifetime or in your previous lifetime, our birth chart is already defined. So you born with that. Now let's see about the eighth law. So I can't remember any other things. I just want to remember only the two things. What are the things you have to remember? Longevity, research, and the transformation or search. Okay, eighth lord in the first house. Eighth lord, we already know about, is the house of the mystery, house of anything hidden. Anything means the treasures, knowledge, your wealth, everything which is hidden. And any sudden events, or sudden events could be either positive or negative. That longevity, search, transformation, whichever it is, that Lord was sitting in the first house. In another verse, that is the Ashtamadipati was sitting in your Lagna. In another verse, one of the Dustana Lord was sitting in your first house. So the first house, who is the first house here? The native, the Jataka itself is represented by the first house itself. That means the first house is the self overseeing the Jataka, an image of the Jataka, innate personality of the Jataka. Here, eighth Lord was sitting. How it will be? What is the significance of the eighth house? Mainly, they search for everything. They search for the truth. So whether when the eighth lord was sitting in the first house, the native becomes the seeker of the truth or not? Obviously. They are very pragmatic in nature. Confident of the confident will comes in their way. Because any people who seek to, who's a seeker in their life, the confidence is the byproduct of it. You are a seeker of any knowledge. The confidence becomes a byproduct of them. So that's why these people are most of the time they are very much a seeker in their life. And importantly, when eighth lord was sitting in the first house, means these people are not ritualistics. They when the eighth lord was sitting in the first house, they ask them to sit in any of the ritual. They feel like this is their bad time in their life. That even though you ask them to sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they feel like, oh my God. That kind of time, kind of a feeling they felt. Okay. This is about the inner state. But what about their any achievement in their life? They know what they want to achieve in their life. They're very much deterministic in nature. Most of them, they try to want to change the world. They try to want to change the community in different way altogether. They want to give the hand to the community. They want them to become a helping hand to the community. In simple words, they want to make a difference in the society. All the Filinos therapists, one or the other way, they have the eighth house relevance. Okay. Anybody is having eighth lord in the first house? Okay, that move into second. Okay, there are a few people which is having the eighth lord in the first house. I'm not a big fan of the Mahatma Gandhi, so you can see other people's. Bill Clinton and Tony and Dhruva Ambani came a film also you can do about it. If you know what is, just go and check with the telescope. It will give you at least different perspective. Okay, eighth lord in the second house. Dhanasthana in the Ashtamadhipati was sitting in your Dhanastha. We already know about the eighth house. It is the house of the mystery or sudden events, transformation, research. And now the second house is the Dhanasthana. That is anything in your hand as the liquid assets, your speech, family, food, nourishment, all comes under the second house. Okay, here is the thing. Here is very interesting thing. Dusthanadipati was sitting in your Dhanasthana. How it will be? You will have the robust health. Okay. How is that possible? Because the Lord who is seeking the truth, who have the kind of the confidence as the byproduct, was sitting in the second house. This person will have the kind of the sharp eye. The second house is also physically represents your eyes. This you may read in a story like they scan the entire place. It may mention as a kind of a sentence, but for these people, they scan the entire place in a second. That kind of the sharp eyes they will have. Very importantly, here is the thing. You may also present in that particular place. You may also particularly involved in that event, but you may not notice. These people can able to see. They clearly identify the thing which is happening in that situation. If, whether in the kind of the communications the people are speaking or they have the hidden agenda, whatever the events is happening in front of them, they see what others do. Okay. Okay. Here is the thing. This is the important. Yearning from various resources. Many people's trying to make the income from various sources, but when the eighth lord was sitting in the second house means it will comes on their. These are the peoples who yearn from different sources and the Ionic will comes into the flow. Okay. When the eighth lord was sitting in the second house, this all the people they tried to make from home. Even they didn't have the $0 in their hand, they can able to build a thousand crore project, 1,000 crore business also. That kind of the ability they will have. It doesn't mean they didn't have a knowledge. These people are very knowledgeable and they know how to manage the finance very well. Okay? Anybody having the Lord in the second house, it's not a mere luck. There is a difference here. It's not a luck. It is based on their intelligence, their mind energy is working in such a way. So when the eighth lord was sitting in a second house means you ask them to analyze any of the annual statement or quarterly, half-yearly statement. They will exactly give you the pinpoint where it was lagging. You may see the n number of the summary. Nowadays the AI was giving the n number of summary for an annual statement. But these people's they that's what I'm saying. When their thought process was different, their short bias will exactly pointing the mistake in the statement only. Anybody having eighth lord in second house?
Vanita, my son
What
has.
is, sorry, go ahead.
No, you ask your question, then I'll
No,
share the
no, go
order.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Vrishchika Lagna.
Okay. Rakshika Lagna, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Buddha and Shukra in second house.
Okay. First, let's see who's the eighth lord. Eighth lord is who?
Buddha.
Buddha. And sitting in the second house along with
Shukra.
Shukra. I cleanly concentrate when placing a U because when I use the mouse for writing, it's not allowing me to move the curve. Okay, let's see about this. Which is exactly matching, which is not. And may I know what's the age of this person?
He's 22. He's a student.
Okay. Hmm.
I'm not sure about the robust health because he has this dust allergy. So he's into coughs and colds often. So I'm not sure about the robust health. Apart from that, he's healthy.
Okay.
Uh,
What about other things?
yeah, sharp eyes, he's a very keen observer.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about Desi, what others don't. I don't know about
Hmm.
that. Earning
Hmm.
from various sources, he's still young.
Hmm.
And even the next one, financial wizard, yeah, he is into financial markets and all those. So,
Hmm. Hmm. When this is an important yoga when the Venus and the Mercury combined together. And let's see about who's the Venus. Okay, I'm little bit getting away from the topic we are discussing. Give me 1 second. So Venus is the lord of the seventh. Yes.
yes,
Venus is
11
also
and
lord
12.
of the 12th. And Mercury is the lord of the 8th and 11th. Okay. The Mercury and the Venus is the wonderful combination. And let's take it as a homework. There is one okay, that so that I want to know one thing, where the Jupiter was present. You remember where the Jupiter is?
Just give me a minute. I think Jupiter is in his 10th house, if I remember right.
Okay, then fine. Okay. This
Yeah,
combination,
Jupiter
when
is in 10th house.
okay, if you see the Mercury plus Venus combination, there is definitely one thing happening for sure. Okay, and whether they will, I will consider this is the next event definitely happen in their life. Whether they will success in this or not, it's based on the placement of the grahas. Okay? Let's try this as a homework. This is the wonderful thing to learn, and particularly this combination. If you read a number of the astrology books, or you can discuss with a number of the peoples, imagine you were discussed with 10 people. The 5 people will say this is the very good combination. Then the other 5 people will say, oh my God. Okay. Now you find this is the wonderful combination, Bola. Okay. Okay, let's come back here.
My
When
question was, who is contributing to health? Because neither eighth house nor the second house deal with health, right?
okay, the robust health, because we have to see about the Jupiter placement also, because the 10th house, then it is the good placement only.
No.
And
I'm talking about not no chart in particular. Generally, here you said eighth lord in second house. We have
okay,
listed robust
here is the
health.
thing. That is the thing. Okay, see, when the 8th Lord will do one work and the 11th Lord is also having some kind of the characteristics in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when the uh, Mercury Dasha Buddhi was happening, let's imagine, okay, when the Mercury Dasha Buddhi was happening, if the health was not good, then the 11th house will takes into effect, and whatever the characteristics of the 11th house will play the role, and he will have all kind of the fulfillment of desires will be finished, and he have the wealth comes into his own way, and whatever the 11th house which is going to give you wealth and the gain profits that comes and comes to him easily. Now, what I'm trying to say here was the 8th and the 11th, whichever the dasha, if it was the Mercury dasha, that the same thing is going to happen. But when one thing was happening, the other things won't happen. You understand this point? The universe won't give you the 50-50 percentage. It will tilt to this side or tilt to this side. That's why the remedies comes into the picture. Okay, when they want to if the mercury was not in a good energy level, they will trouble you more. If the mercury was in a very high level, it will give you whatever it wants. But basically, what you want the balance between this end. Should not be so bad. It should not be not reachable state. At least it have to be balanced. That should not be affect any. Nothing will affect any more life. You understand this one point, right? 8th house lord, 11th house lord will do its work. But it's the same, all the 8th house significance, all the 11th house significance will happen in your life at the same time? No.
Okay.
You got the point, right?
Yeah. My question was here, is this specifically eighth lord in second house, not considering any chart in particular? How is robust health? Who is contributing to robust health here?
Oh, the health. Okay, the health comes into, we have to see about how is your 12th lord is and why. Because if the your health mostly decided by your sleeping style and how is your food and how is your digestion system, which is the 5th house. How is your stomach was working? So altogether, if your stomach is not working and your sleeping is not well, then the robust health is it's not going to work for you. Okay, when you see about the thing about the nose allergy and other stuff, then when this combination works here, possibly doing the pranayama will do all kind of the stuff, because mostly when you have the allergy in your upper body, your lung is not strong, your chest area was not going against any of the thing which is not helping in your body. So when you strengthen your upper part of your body means not I'm asking you to build the muscles. No, when I say build your upper part of your body means build your strong lungs, build your strong heart, and build the diaphragm very strongly. When it was moving up and down, it's naturally to move up and down with with good strength, and your oesophagus will be in a clean way, and there should not be throat get easily affected. So how you are going to do? Um, you remember which Karana he was born?
I think, Vanitha ma'am, I think you got confused. The lady asking the question is different than the lady whose chart we are discussing, whose son's chart you are looking at. Hema is the one who is asking the question. The health, you have the, forget about this chart. Forget about this chart. We can
He's asking about the robust health, right?
Yeah, robust health. But the one person asking is different than the one that you are discussing, the chart.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The thing is, whenever you try to see in your chart how you can define your robust health or not, this is the simplest method, eighth lord in the second house. Then eighth lord in the second house, still I didn't have a robust health. Then what are the things you have to look? You see the 12th house, which is having the good graha or the strength of the 12th. And see about the 5th house, how is your stomach is. If that was really good, then see about the 6th house. If everything was perfect, then the second and the third house will give you some kind of the. Is that your answer? Is that answer to your question?
No, her question is totally different, Vanita. Her question was why exactly 8th Lord and 2nd house is talking about robust health, is her question.
Oh, that's the question? Oh, okay.
Yes, that's her question because eighth house is not related to health and all these things, right? So why that in 2nd house it talks about robust health is her question.
Okay. The health and the food which will be related to each other. Okay. Now the eighth lord was sitting in the second house means, see, the second house is representing your food intake. So whatever the food which you take, if you are not digested properly in your stomach, it won't give you. That was the one thing. And the eighth house, if you remember in your body parts, what is the eighth house will come? What is the eighth house in your body parts? What is the eighth house? Remember? Anybody? Okay. If you remember the Kalaprasha chart, which is the eighth house?
Kidneys, is it?
Vrikshika Rasi. Vrikshika Rasi is for elimination, right? Elimination of your whatever the intake which is not in your body, which is coming out as an elimination, right? The second house, the eighth lord is in the second house means whatever the food intake which you have, if it is properly digested and energy flows into your body and unwanted elimination goes out of your body, if that was happened, then that gives you the robustic health. Okay, in another terms, if you are not understanding this point, whatever the food intake, if the body present in your vibe, which will work properly and it will digest and eliminates here. So the few things gives you the robust health. What are the things? Whatever the food intake and how it will digest. That if you have the good digestion, if your elimination organs was not working properly, then the robust health is the question mark. So what are the things? Your food intake, your digestion, your elimination, which all comes under the combination of the eighth house, eighth and the second house. If you see that clearly, that will give you the eighth lord in the second house will give that a property. Is that clear?
Yes, yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody was having any questions here? Okay, most of the time, why I give all these points because I thought, okay, if I give this kind of an answer, I will make you bored. Okay, let's see about. There are some other examples here. Jayalalitha, the person I believe he's our chief minister. He mentioned me here. I'm not sure. Sharmila Thakur, the people's your actress, and I don't know who's Santaram. Okay, see, this is the wonderful thing, right? Probably because of the robust health, they were able to dance well, I guess. Okay, let's see about the thinkers. Okay, Manchester and Worcester. Okay, now let's see about the eighth lord in the third house. Again, this is the Dustana Adhipati was sitting in a Dustana. This becomes the Viparita Raj Yoga and also the Bhavatva. Okay, now the third house is a Dairyasthana. It gives you aim, ambition, courage, or not in passion, communication, and your people's living in your neighborhood, colleagues, etc. Okay, now let's see about this. This is kind of a blessing in a disguise. Most of the time, when the Viparita Raj Yoga comes into your life, it will come as like first. It won't make you the your life as a cakewalk. It gives you a number of struggles in your life. Then one point in time, it becomes a blessing in your life. When the eighth lord is in the third house, means they are the they definitely will achieve the glory in their life. Why? The eighth lord, who's a seeker, was sitting in a Dairyasthana. What does that mean? Earlier, the eighth lord is the seeker, the confidence is the byproduct. Then that strong lord was sitting in your Dairyasthana. It will give you an additional confidence in your life. These people will reach the goal and ambition no matter whatever in their life. Even if you give n number of difficulties in all the direction, they will reach the goal and ambition no matter what. Possibly these people, because the third house was involved, their frequent, their possible with the communication and travel will be involved in their life. That will be very much frequent. Okay. What is the windfall from passion of art, music, and literary work? Okay, why that? Why this one, the art, music, culture will comes into picture here? Because of the third house. Third house is all about your arts passion. If you have, if you involved in any kind of an art, then your third house definitely become very much stronger. Then you may see with the eighth lord sitting in the third house, that obviously it is Viparita Raju. Okay. Anybody was having eighth lord in third house?
I think I have. Eighth lord is Tula, Chukran, Meena Lagna.
And eighth lord is Tula was sitting in
Third house, Vrishabha.
Along with anybody?
Mars.
Okay, who is Mars? Mars is the lord of the second and the ninth, right? And Venus is again lord of the third house and the eighth house. Okay. Which one is exactly correct, which is not?
I don't know the first one, but
Crowning glory means you,
frequent,
wherever you go, whichever the situation, you will achieve the highest part in your life, in your career, or in your mostly possibilities in your career. You will reach the goal wherever you want.
Yeah, I had good reputation in at work, and I don't know, it can be termed as glory, but yeah. The second one, I don't have much, reach the goal and ambitions. Kind of, yeah. And I didn't have any ambitions or whatever, but I think I have reached some, reached the goal, you could say. Frequent communication and travel. Travel, yes. I don't know what you mean by communication, frequent communication, but frequent travel, yes. I keep traveling a lot. The passion, I don't have passion for art, but music, yes. Culture, yes, but not literary work.
And you didn't have an idea whether you have it or not, right? Okay. Let's see. Anyone want to comment on this? Because we already saw this combination Venus plus Mars. Yes, no?
Interestingly, my wife also has the same combination, Venus,
Same
Mars in
combination in the
third.
same house?
No, she Tula Lagna.
Oh, Tula Lagna, then in which house? Tula Lagna, then
Dhanu Rashi.
Tula Lagna, then Venus plus Mars in the Dhanu Rashi.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, now let's come back here. Anybody want to comment on this? Venus plus Mars And he already told he didn't have an idea about whether he reached the goal or ambition that was become a neutral for him. And he didn't leave this point altogether. But there is a possibility of he had a frequent traveling is possible. But here, the passion of art and music, culture, and literary work is he didn't have an interest about it. I took it as a non-interest. Is that okay?
No, I think I have interest in music and culture, but art and literary work, no. But my
Okay,
my wife has a passion for music, art, and literary work.
It doesn't mean you should have everything into one. At least if you're interested in art, you're interested in music, culture, anything is good. So
Yeah, she
interest
doesn't
in
travel frequently. She has frequent communication, yes. Reach the goal and ambitions, yes, she has. Again, the first one, crowning glory, I don't think. I mean, it's normal, good, reputation, but yeah, I don't know if you can call that as glory.
Okay, let's come back here. Let's
I
see,
mean,
discuss this.
I think what maybe you are saying, successful or maybe having, good reputation or.
Then it's come back here. Venus plus Mars means Venus want to think in a way which want to achieve everything. It's a grand, it should be beautiful one, and some kind of the feminine touch will be there. Here is the thing. And the Mars was warrior energy will be there. He want to do everything as an Venus wants to do everything as a passionate way. Mars was want to do everything as a suddenly he want to do everything, want to do at a greater speed. Venus want to do it is a very passionate movement. But when these two together or when these two meet each other, how it will be. Okay, now we'll see the Graha combination later. Now let's only concentrate on the eighth lord in the third house. So imagine a situation, only the Venus was only in the third house, that is the eighth lord. It's in the third house. When only the Venus was there, the entire thing will happen for sure. Now the situation got changed. Now here the Mars energy is also included. That the Venus energy already there, it's a own house. Now when the Mars energy was included means he definitely had the goal and ambition will be even though he didn't have an idea whether he have a goal or ambition. Why? The speed won't be making you to understand you have a goal or not. Because he have that kind of a tremendous energy to execute whatever the goal or ambition in your life in a very greater speed. Imagine a situation. The Saturn energy person was to definitely can define a goal and ambition very clearly. Why? Because he or she is going to do one action to finish that one action in a slow speed so that they can be able to define their goal, define their ambition clearly. But in a Mars speed energy person, if you ask them to define a goal or ambition, they say, no, I don't have any goal, I don't have ambition. But they achieved a greater height in their life. How is that possible? Because the Mars energy going to give that kind of the speed in them. They do all the kind of the work in a fraction of a second. They don't want to make it as a goal or ambition. Whatever in front of them, they will finish it. But what is the why I'm making this Saturn in here? Because the exact opposite. Mars will finish in a second. Saturn will take it in a year time. So the Saturn will clearly understand what he or she is doing. But the Mars energy person didn't have an idea about it because for them it doesn't matter because it's second work. So when the Mars was combined, this is got nullified. That's why it becomes a neutral for him. Whether I reach the goal and ambition or not, I don't know. But I reach already greater height in my life. The Mars energy will that kind of the potential in every individual. Frequent travel, because that too it was in the Venus in his own house, and Mars is also present. Both of them will help you to travel frequently. Okay, you remember what Dasha Buddhi was happening for you? Because now you're interested in here and the passion. You said something.
Oh, yeah, Shukra Dasha. Bhukti is
Okay.
Guru right now.
In earlier, if you may not command, you may have an passion about on art and culture, but you may not able to time to involve in it. But when the Venus Dasha was happening or Venus Buddhi was happening, definitely you will have a little bit of interest toward the passion of art and music, the art and culture at least. Okay, let's see stop here about the discussion. Now, quickly discuss about the horoscope, then we will end the class today. Okay, a second. Ancient book. Let's get one more slide. Okay, here we go. Now we are discussing the horoscope of Mutation. Lagnam, and Lagnam is the Meenam. Lagnadipati is the Jupiter. Kendra Tripuna, we already saw that. So this is the first house. What is the Kendra? Kendra is the Meena in 1, 4, the corner houses. Okay, that is a Kendra. Meena, Mithuna, Kanni, and the Dhanu becomes the Kendra for her. So what is the Tripuna for them? Meena and the Karka and the Vrikshaka. That becomes the Tripuna for him. So is there any other planets which present in the Kendra and the Tripuna? Yes, in the Tripuna, the Grahas are present. In the Kendra, only Rahu Ketu was present. Okay, keep that in mind when we are discussing. It will give you a different idea altogether. Yoga Karaka, we already discussed. It was not there. I also tend to find time to correct the mistake. We already did this 2 parts last week. The Grahas combination and the aspects also. So we will come into conclusion of what are the Grahas combination present in his horoscope. Okay. Now, most of the time, whenever you see the horoscope, any horoscope, first thing you see about the Lagna, that is the first point. Then you see about the Rashi, that is the second one. Then the third part you have to look into in which Rashi most of the Grahas are present. So here, for this one that was in the third, that was in the fifth. Okay, keep it in mind while we are moving the horoscope, then we will find a different answer altogether. Now let's see the grahas strength and the weakness. Before that, we'll see any of the grahas exalted, deflated, or into moon. Okay. Now you are going to tell me which is the graha which is exalted in this chart. Please. Okay. Which graha is exalted? We'll go one by one.
No graha is exalted.
No graha exalted. Everybody agree?
Yes, correct.
There is no exaltation. Let's see how is it. In ascendant, there was no graha present. Jupiter was in the Mars house. Venus was in his own house. Mars was in the Rishabha. Rahu, we leave Rahu and Ketu now. Sun was in the Simha. Mercury was in the, Sun was in the Kadaka. Mercury is also in the Kadaka. Okay, now Jupiter exalted in which house?
Kataka.
So now we can eliminate that Jupiter is not exalted. Venus is exalted in which house?
Meena.
So Venus also. Makara?
You mean Mars is Makara? Yeah.
Mars is Makara.
Mars is in
Makara.
Makara. So Mars is also. Rahu Ketu, Sun exalted in which Rasi?
Mesha.
Mesh. The sun is also moon. Mercury,
Mercury is Kanya.
Kanya. So Mercury is also moon. Moon,
Moon is Vrishabha.
so moon is also moon. Let's see Saturn. Saturn is in Kumbha, but it has to be
Tula.
exalted in the
Tula.
Tula. So Saturn is also moon. So altogether there is no exaltation plan. Now let's see the debilitation. Okay. Now which graha is debilitated?
None of the grahas debilitate.
Okay, let's see one by one. Jupiter debilitated in which?
Makara.
Jupiter in Makara. So now Jupiter in the Mesha. Venus debilitated in
Kanya.
Kanya. Mars,
Kataka.
Kadaka. Now Sun is in
Tula.
Tula. So Mercury is in
Meena.
Meena. So Moon is in
Moon is in Vrishchika.
Vrishchika.
so Moon is also not debilitated. Saturn,
Mesha.
Mesha. So none of the graha is debilitated also. Okay, now let's see about the own house grahas. Jupiter is in what house?
Shukra and Shani.
Shukra answer. Okay, let's see. Now, Shukra was in a own house? Yes. Mars is in the Rishabha. It's not a Mars own house. Mars own house, which is Mesha and Prakshita. Now, Jupiter own house, Dhanur and the Meena. Sun is in own house. Sun is in the moon house. So it's a Karka. Mercury own house is the Kanya and the Mithuna. Now it's sitting in the moon house. So no. Moon own house is the Karka. So now moon is in the Venus house. Saturn is in the Saturn house. Yes or no? Okay. Now there are two planets. One is the Venus, and another is the retrograde Saturn. Okay, now we understand what is exalted, debilitated, own house. Okay, exalted in the sense in a life, if you are imagine this one. Exalted means the energy was at the peak. Debilitated means it is under 0 degree. And its own house means it was in a balanced state. Okay. Now, in that means this so whenever you see the graha which is exalted, don't get excited. Okay. If you see any number of the exalted grahas, it won't give you the peaceful life. The very best example is the Ladra. Most of the grahas in his horoscope is exalted or in his own house. Like he, as a princess, he enjoyed his luxurious life. It's up to him only to decide. It was not in such a way. Okay, now what is the other step? Retrograde combustion parivartana. Okay, now let's finish with this, then we'll see in the next week. Let's see about retrograde planet. Only one is a retrograde planet. Yes. One planet is a retrograde, that is the Saturn. Okay, anybody remember what is this retrograde Saturn will do? Retrograde, nothing but that Saturn's energy is very much near to the earth when you are. Remember that one. You may not get a number of knowledge will come. You may get easily confused, but remember this one thing. Saturn's energy is near to the earth when you are born. So the Saturn's energy when you are born is you already consumed a lot. That too, it was in your birth chart retrograde Saturn. Okay. What kind of the person will be when you are having the retrograde Saturn? We discussed retrograde Saturn, right? So no? No? So if you forgot, you have to remember them. Okay, let's see combustion. So when the combustion word was come, which planet you have to see? In the Rashi chart, you have to see the sun. In the sun, see the next planet, any graha will be present. Most of the time, Mercury and the Venus close to each other. At least 3 rashis in between. 3 rashis above, 3 rashis below. The sun and the Venus will be definitely there. Now here it was a 245. This one is a 240, 2348. So it is above the 5 degree, above the 12 degree. So leave it. There was no graha combustion. So there is no graha combustion. Now let's see about the parivartana. Anybody explain what is parivartana?
Exchange
graha.
places.
Okay. Let's see, I share this one so we can see and understand.
No exchange.
Now we'll see about the Jupiter. Jupiter was having the two houses. One is Meena and another is the Dhanu. In these two Rashis, is there any planets was there? Only Ketu. So leave the Ketu here. So the Jupiter is not having the Parivartana. Now let's see about the Venus. Venus was having the two houses. One is the Rishabha and another is the Tula Rashi. And Mars is two Rashis, Mesha and the Vrikshika. Now let's see about first Venus. Venus was in the Rishabha and the Tula. Graha was the moon. Moon was in the Karka Rashi. So there was no Parivardhana was not happening. Mars was in the Mesha and the Vrikshika. In the Jupiter, only planet as Jupiter was in between these houses. So there is no Parivartana. So now come into the Sun, then there was no Graha in it, so leave that. Mercury was only one Graha, that is Mercury, so leave that. Now let's come into the Saturn. Saturn in its own house, so leave that one. Okay, so there is no Parivartana.
So actually, I have Rashi Parivartana Yoga is not there, but there is Nakshatra Parivartana Yoga between Jupiter and
that we will
Sun.
see that.
Yeah.
That we will see that in the next phase altogether. So that's why I'm always saying, whenever we reading the horoscope, it is really the 50% of it. Why 50%? The next 50% is filled by the nakshatra significance. Entirely the chart which we are reading now will tell you, okay, this, that and all. But that will be entirely modified in the next 50% based on the nakshatra rasi. If the nakshatra was Jupiter nakshatra was sitting in the Jupiter nakshatra, there was another graha was on it, the nakshatra parivartana will be happening. Nakshatra parivartana is nothing but the two graha nakshatra will be interchangeable in the different in the other nakshatra. Suppose in case which one you remember? Which nakshatra?
Sun and Jupiter. Sun is in Punarvasu and Jupiter is in Kritika.
And Kritika. The Sun's nakshatra is a Kritika. So Jupiter nakshatra is the Punarvasu. So both the things was in their own nakshatra. Jupiter was in the Sun's nakshatra. Sun was in the Jupiter nakshatra. So I don't want to confuse here. Whenever we are reading at this point in time, we are reading till only the 50%. That is, we are only reading based on the Rashis. We are excluding the nakshatras. When we are including the nakshatra, the characteristics of the birth chart will be changed altogether. Okay. So does that mean we are learning entirely? No. We are learning halfway through. The next halfway will be filled by the nakshatra. That we will see that later. Okay. And when we see the same horoscope when we learn after the nakshatra, there is two more point will be added here. That is a different story. Okay, we will leave the point here. We'll discuss about the every houses from the next week onwards, starting with the first house till the 12th house. We'll take time to discuss every week one houses. Okay. Or else we can do like this also. When in the class we can discuss first one house and you do as a second house as a homework. Alternatively, we can discuss at the class also, which is easy for you. Then here entire objective is whenever you see the horoscope, you should not have an heart attack. You feel that okay, I can read this horoscope very much easily. That much convenient, that much comfortness you have to find whenever you see the birth chart. So which way is easier for you? We'll have this all houses reading in the class itself, or we can make it as an alternate. Alternate means you do the homework or we'll discuss in the class, which is easy for you. Not easy, which is beneficial. Well, everybody was silent. Okay, then we will discuss every houses in the class itself. Okay. We'll see you all next week. Yes, no?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
See you all the next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.